It was strange, like, in a way, because you kind of wanted to... It was like this other part of the work that wasn't the work. You know, it's like, oh, you're just about to record something. You go, oh, no, let's document this, you know? And so that was strange.
Yeah.
So it was almost like...
Took some getting used to.
Yeah. It's kind of like that hyper... I don't know, reality or something. I mean... But I guess it's no different than when somebody sits down and eats waffles and like, no, I got to take a picture of these waffles before I eat them. So that's kind of what it was. Like, every day he was about to, like, you know, pound a plate of waffles, and we had to take a picture of it before he pounded it.
We made a big drum set out of waffles. Now,
yeah, we're gonna go with this waffle metaphor the entire time. I mean, you know, the biggest difference was this guy. But the record kind of, like, happened really easily, and it was strange, I guess, if you think about it. If you don't, it was just a good time.
I mean, I can't speak for any of the other records, but it all seemed to come together pretty quick, and, you know, in 2 weeks we kind of put everything together, and then the next week we were already doing the drum tracks, and before we knew it, it was all over, and it was like, well, I can't believe we did this, you know? We were pretty surprised.
It was like walking into a room, like, full of waffles, and then, like, after you eat all the waffles, like, whoa, what happened? And you're just sitting there like, I'm dizzy. I ate all those waffles.
It's just an honest, you know, thing. Is as soon as I joined the band, it was just like, let's go. You know, we talked to our booking agent, and our managers are like, well, you got this opportunity to do this tour and whatever, and we're like, let's do it. You know, and you can just imagine, you know, wanting to see a band that doesn't come around as often because of a work schedule or something. But I mean, it's just, I live in the same place. We practice on a pretty regular schedule, and we just like to do. We'd like to do it.
It's like a guy who's hungry for waffles. He's not going to wait around forever to eat more waffles. He's going to eat them, you know, sooner than later. Moliere, the Pixies, Bauhaus, religion, you know, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I came up with that song, and it started in my head during a show during a load-in at Santos Party House, actually. And that's when, like that melody of, like, this is your welcome to the family, like, sort of came into my head. And so I remember loading in really fast and then, like, recording that, like, so I wouldn't forget it. I mean, you know, that was pretty much it.
Intoxicating?
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of drinking, but I mean, it's really strange, like, sort of go where they are instead of where we are, you know. I mean, touring is, the idea is that you do go where you are or where they are, you know. But I mean, this is literally going to them or to you. Let's just say to you, not instead of us. You know, to you. It's literally going to you, and, like, going to your house. And I mean, the first time that we did it, we didn't know if, like, you know, Annie Wilkes was going to be on the other side of the door or what. You know, we didn't know what was going to happen. But it's been interesting to, like, get to know people in that way and get to see how people live.
Meeting people's animals.
Yeah. And, you know,
each one's been a little different.
Their waffle makers and seeing what goes into their waffles. And you know, everybody makes waffles, but they make them differently. It's really interesting. No, I mean, who would read it? I mean, other than you, who would read it? I mean, seriously, it's just, I mean, the last time I read somebody's biography, it was that Keith Richards book, and it just made me despise the Rolling Stones. So I don't really care to lay that kind of thing out, you know.
actually was sitting down for breakfast one morning. A huge plate of waffles. No. I actually started playing drums late. I started playing when I was 18, but I played like bass and guitar and trombone when I was like 14 or 15.
Rusty trombone.
That's right. The band that I was in at the time, their drummer like quit, and coincidentally enough, like in that same month, my sister's husband bought a drum set and he didn't have a place to put it. He's like, I can't put it at my parents' house. I'm like, well, you can put it in my room. You know, we had this extra room in my parents' place and they were all right with it, and I just kind of sat down and, you know, if it was at my house, I was like, can I play it, you know? And that's how it started, you know. It was late, and I just sat down. I felt like I kind of got the hang of it right away, and then...
Don't you hate people like that?
The rest is history.
Well, we don't really want to tell them because it won't be a surprise. But there will be waffles.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah, it'll be...
It's my first time playing the Metro. I'm excited to play. You know, it should be I don't know, without giving anything away, I think it's going to be a nice party.
No, don't say that. In June?
Yeah. Playing St. Vitus. I don't remember, but in June.
June something.
In June, it's around...
It's St. Vitus in Brooklyn.
I think it's the 19th, June 19th. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't really like stuff like that. You know, I think unplugged records blow. I mean, you know, if it's a record like Led Zeppelin 3, it's mostly acoustic. That's awesome. But like a record, like any re-recording of a record, I don't even really like live records. You know, I think Live at Leeds is awesome, and Live at Budokan is great. But for the most part, yeah, for the most part, it's a waste of time. I mean, you know, there's bootlegs. Bootlegs are awesome. You know, they're everywhere, and there's plenty of acoustic bootlegs. But you know, once you do it, you should just move on, and if you don't, and just stop. You know, I don't know. I don't mean to sound like a grouch when it comes to stuff like that, but the only reason I would do that is for you, and that's a nice reason to do it. But you know, I couldn't really put my heart into a record like that, you know. I mean, I think Nirvana did more for rock than Rob Zombie did, you know. Fuck him. I mean, I blame the death of horror movies on Rob Zombie. So, Nirvana was great. And the State of Rock is great, you know, and there are plenty of great rock bands. And if you don't think so, it's probably just because you're lazy and, you know, you're Rob Zombie. I think it's great.
No?
Yeah.
Have any of those bands called you to say thank you?
No. It just, you know, to me, proves the point that it was a good idea, you know. I mean, we didn't come up with it, so... Well, I certainly am interested every time I hear a two-piece band, you know, whether it be Royal Blood or Tenacious D or anybody, you know.
Big business?
Yes.
I just like that there's bass players and drummers, you know, that's like the core of the rhythm, and you know, sometimes you can make some cool sounds out of it.
Absolutely. You know, there's... Despite what Sammy Hagar says, there is more than one way to rock. There's not only one way to rock.
True.
There's more than one way to skin a waffle. Whatever happened to PJ Souls?
Why?
It's just, you know, it's a good headphone record. It's a lot of texture on that record. got a good spectrum of songs. It's a good record. And I find that I enjoy playing songs from that record a lot, too.
Ryan?
It's a good question. I would have to say, from front to back, like, I grew up and I remember thinking, like, I really liked Pack Up the Cats when it came out, but Here Comes the Zoo, I guess there's a tie between those two. Probably have to be
The Desert Sessions.
Yeah, Desert Sessions. The whole Desert Sessions collection. And that comes in 1 and 2s. 3 and 4, 5.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Comes out. If it
There,
does.
he's not doing it anymore. Because he wants to piss you off, personally.
Because I gave him bad plate of waffles, I guess. What about you? What's your Desert Island disc?
Eagles' Greatest Hits, too.
No way.
Pretty good, man. It's got Life in the Fast Lane on it.
Probably not.
Well, what would you do if you were on a desert island and you couldn't hear Hotel California? You'd kill yourself.
I would kill
you
myself
would
if I heard
fucking
Hotel
take the gun that you took with you on a desert island and you'd kill yourself. And it's like, oh my God, it's been an hour since I've heard Life in the Fast Lane. You like suck both barrels of that gun.
That's right. That's right.
The Eagles rule. Don Henley's the greatest person who's ever existed. Him and Rob Zombie should start a band together. It could be called
Don Zombie.
Be great. The Boys of Bummer.
Yeah.
I recently got a waffle iron, and I'm trying to figure out, the correct ratio to.
Batter to circumference.
Yeah, it's not easy. So, you could go crazy thinking about it, but yeah, that and going to see movies. Pretty much, that's the thing.
No. So I got a girl.
She
I
does
don't
it
go to
for-
see as many movies as he does, but I mean,
No, you
I
don't.
like riding my bicycle. I like to pedal my shrimp.
I like my bicycle.
I do like my bicycle.
Yeah, riding bikes in the city is awesome.
I bike and I eat at different restaurants. I like to just explore.
In his downtime, he bikes, he eats, and he sleeps too in his downtime.
I love sleep.
He loves
If
to
it
sleep.
wasn't so much fun to be awake, I'd be sleeping all the time.
And he brushes his teeth sometimes too.
Religiously. The last thing I binge watched was probably
I don't know.
something you referred to me.
I refer to you as a lot of things.
Yeah, but he does the HBO Go thing too.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, Olive Kitteridge, or that's
That was on HBO.
I guess.
See, we're
Breaking Bad, or the heck, I'm started Twin Peaks right now.
there you go. That's a good
an old-
answer.
That's an old show, been around, but it's interesting. It's good. That's the latest one.
If you're into that.
I'm only like 4 episodes in. What about you? Looking?
I love Looking. I think Looking is a great show. I'll be sad to see it go. HBO, please don't cancel Looking. If I can't find out what happens with Dominic, I'm gonna freak out, man. It's not a rock movie. Like, even Ellen Barkin was in the movie. Even she doesn't like that movie. If Ellen Barkin's in a movie and she doesn't like it, it's not going on my list of anything other than movies that Ellen Barkin doesn't like. If you don't listen to Ellen Barkin, you got a problem, man.
What was your number one?
Was it Gimme Shelter? Oh, Murderous. Yeah, absolute anger and rage.
Anything like those big award shows, it's all just a publicity stunt, Make the People look pretty.
Well, I think the Oscars are basically so people go see movies in the wintertime. I think that's the only reason that they exist. But I was glad Whiplash won editing. I'm glad it won. I'm glad Patricia Arquette won. But yeah, you know, this thing where people are fascinated by the one take thing, it's ridiculous. Who cares? You can move a camera around for 90 minutes. Big fucking deal. And no one actually does it anymore, by the way. You know, they digitally make it look like they're moving a camera around for 90 minutes. It's not the crazy physical feat that it used to be, like when Martin Scorsese did it in Goodfellas, or when Orson Welles did it in Touch of Evil. It's not that crazy to do anymore. So let's move on, everybody, and let's appreciate the joys of editing. Oh yeah, it's crazy. You like give that movie the best picture, and then you don't give it to Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
the whole movie revolves around this guy. Fucking ridiculous.
And then
we give it to some guy who's gonna. Come on. Come on! Did you want to talk about movies, or were you just bringing it up?
Well, I have movie questions, so yeah.
Okay.
No, that guy winning was like, come on.
Eddie Redmayne?
Yeah.
Tell you what he was great in was Jupiter Ascending. I mean, that was the finest performance I've ever seen by a Brit.
I hated that movie.
I know.
It's terrible.
You like Chappie, though.
I did not.
You love Chappie.
I like it.
5 years of local H. Hey, I did it. Good night, everybody. Mic drop. Is it a waffle question?
No, it's not a waffle question. It's not a waffle question.